my main point of focus is going to be to embrace the target.
Here comes the 2-2. In the air, this should do it. Jason Hayward makes a catch. It's a no-hitter. Jake Arrieta has done it again.
Along the right field line. And Rizzo on the left. He's got it. Oh, what a play. Deep left center. Game over. Cubs win. Cubs win. Baez does it 4-3 the final. Called strike three. Cubs win. Cubs win as John Lester completes a gem.
Shugel's pitch to Quintana. Swung on. Hit the air. Deep center field. Back goes McCutcheon. That ball is gone for a home run. On the first pitch he ever sees in the big leagues.
Polanco swings at the first pitch. And it's caught by Rizzo.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
You're connected to SportsNet Central.
Hello, welcome into our Cubs playoff preview special. He is Todd Hollandsworth. I'm David Kaplan. Holly, the old baseball adage says every team's going to win 60, lose 60. It's what you do in the rest of the games. Well, the Cubs proved that wrong, losing only 58 times during the regular season. 11 wins now is the magic number from a world title.
Well, you win the rest of those ball games, you end up with a great tally at the end, and you end up with home field advantage throughout the playoffs. But here's the kicker. It doesn't matter anymore. You may have home field advantage, and certainly we may reflect on that with each series that we watch this Cubs team play. But the bottom line is you got to win now, and 11 is the magic number. That's what you got to get to celebrate a championship.
All right, the 103 victory, 6 more than they had last year when they were the second wild card team. So, what is the biggest difference in this year's team compared to last year's squad that made it to the NLCS?
I think confidence, experience. I mean, those are two things. And again, you know, experience in terms of 365 days. To somebody who's a fan of the Chicago Cubs, you say, what are you talking about? That's a year. We're only talking 1 year later. But in baseball terms, it's almost like talking doggy years. You know, one full season is like 3 or 4 years to a normal person. It's just understanding it that way. Look at Addison Russell. Look at Chris Bryant. Look at how they've matured. Look at Javi Baez. There you go right there. How their seasons have improved from what we saw last year. You're getting to place. You're going into the playoffs. This team has been there for the most part. You brought in players who have been there. Ben Zobrist has been there. Jason Hayward's been to the postseason. These guys know what it takes to get it done. The bottom line is actually going out there and executing. It's as simple as that. It's understanding that you had a great regular season, that you're everybody's favorite team to pick right now to win the World Series, and then going out there and winning baseball games. So the bottom line is this: the biggest difference, confidence and experience. This team has got it. And I'll tell you what, watching them play this season, they were tested a few times. They were tested at the end of the first half. They passed all those tests. They recovered, they came back, and they continued to win.
All right, of course, we now know the Cubs will be battling the San Francisco Giants in the National League Division Series starting Friday night at the Friendly Confines. Cubs won 4 of 7 games between the two squads this year, losing 2 of 3 in San Francisco in mid-May, winning 3 out of 4 at Wrigley Field at the beginning of September. All right, Holly, how would you best describe this Giants ball club?
They have a great rotation. That's really what it starts out with. They have a gutty team, but they're an experienced crew. I mean, what's the biggest difference between these two teams, historically speaking? Well, they've won 3 World Series championships in the last 5 years. The Cubs are looking for their first in 108. That's where you start. They win unconventionally. It's not your traditional way of looking at a team. They don't have the best man at every position. They have a really, really good rotation. They've got a bullpen that's got some issues, but they do have a hero in that rotation named Madison Bumgarner. We saw him in the wild card game once again. But they just kind of know their place and know their way. It's about getting in and understanding what you can accomplish when you get in. What they do, they pitch well, they defend well. Their offense is okay, but again, that's what they do. They've got great starting pitching. They're hoping it carries them. If they have any chance in the series, in my personal opinion, their starting pitching is going to be a big conversation piece all the way through the series. There's no way this team is taking it to the Cubs if we're watching 5 and 6 inning starts from their starting rotation. They need what they got from Madison Bumgarner in that wild card game, and they're going to need it all the way through the series to even have a chance against the Cubs.
All right, Giants punched their ticket to Wrigley Field by beating the New York Mets in the wild card game on Wednesday night. And the hero of that game, former White Sox third baseman Connor Gillespie, whose 3-run bomb in the 9th inning provided the only scoring of the ball game. Boy, that pitch was just up. It just sat right there, and see you later.
Well, it's interesting. I got to talk to a few guys and certainly heard some stories from a few different people who were there about what they were looking to do against Familia there in the 9th inning. It was such an interesting dynamic because Familia, as we know, one of the better closers in the game of baseball, has a heavy, heavy fastball and throws very hard. But the way everybody talked about it, the idea was, wow, we are going to take a step back. It was like Noah Syndergaard was so good in this ball game. Anybody else that follows Noah Syndergaard was going to be a little bit more of a comfortable at bat. So interesting that they were able to take it to Familia that way, got a few pitches up, and they made it happen.
Too bad Buck Showalter wasn't managing the Mets. Familia had never been in a ball game.
That's right.
Good news is the Cubs will not have to face Madison Bumgarner until Game 3 Monday out in San Francisco. After last night's shutout, Lefty lowered his ERA in the last 9 postseason outings to a sick 0.79. Look, he is the real deal.
Let me tell you this. I think there's one number, one set of numbers that really sums it up, at least in my personal opinion, what Madison Bumgarner does in the postseason. He has allowed 3 earned runs in 53 2/3 innings on the road in his career. People, you know what I'm talking about here. We're talking packed stadiums. We're talking television audiences. We're talking millions of people, everybody rallying around. We know what's going on in Chicago. We're all buzzing about this show. We're all buzzing about what the Cubs are getting ready to do. This guy has gone on the road and thrown 50-plus innings in his career. He's given up 3 earned runs. I mean, you want to talk about elevating your game, Cappy. I don't know if there's a better example that I will ever give anybody of elevating one's game when it comes to postseason time. Madison Bumgarner.
All right, so to be in Game 1, a good matchup. Johnny Cueto, who started the All-Star game for the National League, he's on the mound for the Giants. Righty, 18-5 with a 279 this season, but in 7 career postseason starts, Cueto is just 2-3 with a 5.35 ERA. He's got elite stuff, but he had his moments last postseason where he wasn't great.
Well, when it comes to Johnny Cueto, much like you'll probably hear me talk about Jeff Samardzija in a couple games, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself here, but Johnny Cueto kind of experiences and goes through that adrenaline rush that we all feel at the beginning of a ball game. And sometimes he controls it, sometimes he doesn't. So when it comes to Johnny Cueto, it's all about settling in. When you go back and look at the starts that he made last year, early in ball games, he had some issues. Even a couple decent starts that he had, he gave up runs early in the ball game. But then he was able to settle down and get himself through 6 innings that first time in Houston. And then he had the big one against the Mets, but he reached a point where he was okay. Interestingly enough, the start before that in Toronto, didn't get out of the second inning. Didn't get out of the third inning, gave up 8 earned runs, walked 4 guys. I mean, the key again for this Cubs team going up against Johnny Cueto, bring the bats, bring the lumber. I know you've been off for a few days, but you got to come ready to hit. You got a chance to jump. You got a chance to jump them early in this ball game. Take full advantage of it.
All right, Cueto will be matched up against Cubs ace John Lester, who finished the regular season with a record of 19-5 and an ERA of 2.44. And from August 17 to September 25, he went 8 straight starts where he allowed 1 or no runs. And the lefty says tomorrow night's contest will have a different feeling.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd be lying to you if it didn't, you know. We all know what time of year this is and what we're playing for. So the preparation and the mindset remain the same. But, when you're out there, you know what you're playing for. You know this could be my last start tomorrow of the year, So I think we all know that. And I think the biggest thing is being able to harness that, not run from that.
All right, that guy and this moment, this is what the Cubs imagined, Todd, when they brought him in as a free agent and paid him $155 or $156 million.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's had a very, very impressive postseason career, 2.85 ERA, although his record's 6-6. That being said, he's been really, really good most of the time. You expect it. I mean, it's about going out there and executing your game plan. I've said it time and time again. the sooner and the quicker you become comfortable inside the surroundings. Again, this is different. You've been playing at home all season long. They've played all their games at Wrigley Field, but we all know that tomorrow night is going to be a different atmosphere. It's going to be a mainstream national television audience. Everybody's going to be tuning in, paying attention to see this Cubs team. John Lester has been in these moments before. He's done it in Boston. Now he gets to do it again here with the Cubs in Game 1. I expect a brilliant performance from him. I expect him to step up and continue to do what he did during the regular season. I have really no reason to believe he would get off of what he's done so far this season, especially against a Giants team that has had offensive issues. They've got a few guys heating up, but they still had a lot of trouble in September.
All right, we're just getting started on our Cubs playoff preview special. There have been so many heroes for the Northsiders this season, but who's been the team's most valuable player? Holly Time will rank his top 5, and we'll take a look back at the 5 games that truly made this season extra special for the Cubs and their fans.
It is I, Count Babila, and my girlfriends, here to save you big money on a new Toyota. Hurry in now to Oak Brook Toyota.
During our sales spectacular, lease a 2017 Toyota Camry for only $189 a month or get 0% financing.
Bob Rohrman.
Bob Rohrman's Oak Brook Toyota in Westmont, only 5 minutes west of the Tri-State on Ogden Avenue.
The best things in life are free.
Choose excitement.
But you can get them to
Choose action.
Airbnbs.
Choose Hollywood Casinos and you've already won. 2 Chicagoland locations with more of the games you want, more of the generous rewards you deserve, and celebrations that shine all night. That's the kind of star power that can take you places. Hollywood Casino, Aurora, and Joliet. There's no place like Hollywood.
Esurance does auto insurance a smarter way, like their photo claims tool. It helps settle your claim quickly, which saves time, which saves money. And when they save, you save. That's auto and home insurance for the modern world. Esurance, an Allstate company. Click or call. Esurance does insurance a smarter way, which saves money, like bundling home and auto coverage, which reduces red tape, which saves money. And when they save, you save. That's home and auto insurance for the modern world. Esurance, an Allstate company. Click or call.
The Bank of America Chicago Marathon app, powered by Tata Consultancy Services, has everything you need for Marathon Week. Get event schedules, maps, and track runners' progress in real time. Stay connected every step of the way. Download now.
Is your lunch break a race against the clock? You run here, you run there, until everything comes to a screeching halt. Now is the time for a 5-hour energy protein shot. 21 grams of protein and 100 little calories. It's not lunch, it's energy and protein, and a lot faster than fast food. 5-hour energy protein shots. Energy, protein, 100 calories. Available at these fine stores.
Deep drive, way back, and that baby's gone! He's done it again!
That was Chris Bryant against the Los Angeles Dodgers in L.A. back in August. Welcome back to our playoff preview special here at Comcast Sportsnet. I'm David Kaplan. He is Todd Hollandsworth. This year's Cubs team has had so many different contributors, and we're going to ask Todd Hollandsworth to give us his top 5 Cubs' most valuable players. Remember, there are no losers in this category. It's an honor just to be nominated. So let's start with number 5.
Yeah, so we decided to stick the entire team up here, right? No, we didn't. We came up with some good options here. We've got about half the team up here, but honestly, I probably could do my best job making a case for everybody. All right, now everybody knows Dexter Fowler. He's a personal favorite of mine. We've watched him have an outstanding season. I'm putting him down there in the 5 spot. If we had this conversation in April or May, I can absolutely guarantee he'd have been in 1 spot. But for me right now, Dexter Fowler is there. Now we're going to get to a couple starters that for me have had major impact, certainly part of the conversation. For me, Mr. Hendricks. He's in the 4 spot. Wow, what a season he has had. He has come onto the scene. He has become our Game 2 starter in the playoffs. Do I really need to say anything more? And the only reason I can't put him any higher than this is because, unfortunately, he's got a guy named John Lester who's pitching in front of him. And instead of me sitting up here and throwing numbers at all of you, I'm going to tell you that John Lester's getting in the ball in Game 1 for an obvious reason. That's what he's here to do. So that's the biggest difference right there. It's not that Kyle Hendricks couldn't do it. It's not that he hasn't had that type of season. It's that John Lester has matched him, and you know what? He's done it a lot longer. So I think it's pretty obvious. Most people out there know it comes down to two guys, Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo. I think for me, this is the amazing thing. When you start to look at these numbers, between these two guys, Cappy, and you and I were just talking about it, it is like nothing. It is like nothing I have ever seen. Now, everybody enjoy this for 1 second. I'm going to just give you their batting average and slash lines combined. 292 batting average for both of them. 385 on base percentage for both of them. 554 slugging percentage for Chris Bryant, 544 for Anthony Rizzo. So that's a total of 939, 928 for Chris Bryant and Anthony Rizzo. I really do believe the defensive versatility is where I'm won over. I love the season that Anthony Rizzo has had. He's had a fantastic, great year at first base. I would compare him against any National League first baseman, and he wins out in my mind. But when we talk about Chris Bryant, we talk about the runs that he scored. He definitely has a bit of an advantage there, in large part to Anthony Rizzo driving him in all the time. But the idea that the defensive versatility is such a big part of the game today and the way that we talk about it, it is something that I say just gives them a slight margin.
All right, but I want to throw something at you. Anthony Rizzo, if you go to late game and really high leverage situations, his numbers are markedly better. Chris has scored more runs by a large margin.
Right.
Again, all the other numbers are pretty close. Chris has a few more homers. You don't take into account for Chris and Anthony the disparity in late game and close situations.
I do, and when I started to pick up on those things, you know, we were talking about that about 4 to 6 weeks ago. Chris Bryant really kind of was stepping up his game in the second half. You know, one of the big things for me was for him to get to 100 RBIs. Not that that's a threshold that was going to make or break it for me. If he didn't get there, I still thought he was in a position. You have to remember, he's hit 7 more home runs as well. I know that's slightly trivial, but at the same time, it stands out. We're looking for little things that make a difference, and when it comes down to it, there's a good chance that Anthony Rizzo may win a Gold Glove over at first base, but I still think the defensive versatility probably gives you more value with the fact that he allows you to do more, yet his production doesn't fall off at any of the positions he plays. So for me, this is the slightest of margins, in my opinion. Chris Bryant just barely gets it over Anthony Rizzo.
All right. With 103 victories during the regular season, winning could be considered routine after a while, but Joe Madden made sure his club celebrated each and every hard-fought victory. But there were a few games that were just a little more special than some of the others. Here are our top 5 victories of 2016. It's part of our 12 Days of Cubs, presented by our friends at State Farm.
It's Jake Arrieta night, so can we just chalk up a W?
I envision pitching like this, throwing no hitters.
Anytime he goes out there, you think he can throw one.
All eyes on the pitcher. Swing and a miss. 3 outs away.
You never want to interfere with somebody's greatness.
Here comes the 2-2. In the air, this should do it. Jason Hayward makes a catch. It's a no-hitter. Jake Arrieta has done it again. There's a base hit. Cahill will score. Fowler right behind him, and we are tied. Deep left center. Game over. Cubs win. Cubs win. Baez does it. 4-3 the final.
I don't think I've ever had 5 hits in the game, let alone with 3 home runs.
Number 3. Full house time, baby. Double. Homer. Homer. Double. Homer. What a show. What a show.
Travis Wood, a pitcher, went back and made a catch that a good defensive big league outfielder would have been proud to make, Ron.
Yeah, last time I went out there, I didn't get to make an out. I was really wanting to record it out. I was hoping it would be less dramatic.
To the backstop, and the game is tied. Do you believe it?
Hayward drives one in the air. Deep right center field. Back toward the wall. It's off the wall. Hayward's going to have a double. He just missed a home run. Here's the 2-2. Lester is going to bunt. It's out in front of the plate. Here comes Hayward. He scored. Cubs win. Cubs win. John Lester with a beautiful bunt. Jason Hayward, a head-first slide at home plate. The Cubs win the ball game.
Drive to left, deep, back at the wall, Braun. Game over. Cubs win. Time to celebrate.
A walk-off win in 10 innings here today, and let the party begin.
All right, is there one win for you that stands out above all the others? For me, it's great. The no-hitter, all that stuff's cool. The Mother's Day win when you came from 3-1 down to a really good Nationals club. You're trying to sweep them away, and then Javi Baez hits a line shot. Well, and there's Pedro Strop running down third base. Right. For me, that was my favorite game of the year.
The impressionable game for me, I kind of have two favorites. The impressionable game for me was the Chris Bryant game. I mean, the power, I was just elbowing you right there. I said, look, they were calling for a fastball at his letters and above, and he goes up and get it. You know, the 5 for 5, the 3 homers and the doubles. Wow. I mean, we witnessed history right there. I thought that was really, really cool. And I think it's, you know, we kind of have that coming out party that, like, he's done that, but that game just had a moment for me. I thought, man, this kid is limitless as far as what he may do in the game. I'm really looking forward to watching his career. I can't deny you're right. The Mother's Day game, it's the pink. I can't stop staring at all the pink. And when I see Javi running around the bases and we're looking at Rossi's pink shin guards and pink bats and pink shoes, and it was that incredible color of pink that just caught your eye, how could you forget? I will never. It's burned into my memory, the Baez home run.
That was a great one. You know what another fun one was? Sunday Night Baseball. The Mariners look like they got that thing put on ice. Right. And then you win on, I believe, a wild pitch. No, yeah, on the bunt.
Right. Yeah, I mean, really cool. But, I mean, we've watched it, and I guess in my mind, when I watch them come back a lot of times, I'm like, yeah, I've seen them do that before. They've done it many times. And I even go back to last year. It kind of became who they were. That was almost part of their identity last year, the ability to come back late in ball games. I was waiting, and, you know, I even thought about Joe Madden had mentioned that about mid to late August. I thought, we need to have some comeback victories. We haven't done enough of that this year, and I thought that's kind of interesting that he would bring it up that way, and then all of a sudden we started to see this little string of comeback victories. So, to your point, absolutely.
Yeah, then you went out and won one when Caesar scored on a wild pitch.
Right. So. That's who they are. I mean, that's the one thing that stands out. You start to look at the numbers a little bit. They've had issues in one-run ball games this year. They're about a 500 team. That's not bad. But you do have a few teams in the playoffs this year that are actually better, one including the Texas Rangers that have been incredibly dominant in one-run ball games. But when you look at what this Giants team is all about, that's what you're trying to avoid.
All right, we have to take another time out on our Cubs playoff preview special. With such a long layoff between meaningful baseball games, leave the Cubs at a disadvantage against the Giants team that had to fight to the final day of the regular season just to make the playoffs. Holly Time will give us his thoughts when we return.
Did you just see that? That was awesome. We have to try it. Okay. Okay, mine's not working. Maybe you have to bump it. Oh, yeah, do the bump it thing. Right. Okay. Yeah.
You can take money out using the BMO Harris app.
You want to buy a hairless cat? There's a pet store down the street.
Cool.
I think she said BMO Harris app. Yeah, that makes more sense.
When your phone is your debit card, that's the BMO effect. BMO Harris Bank, we're here to help.
A well-put-together man is said to be sharp. At GMC, we get why people appreciate that kind of precision. After all, precision is the kind of sharp that slices through a crowd. This is the precision of professional grade. Step up to GMC and pay no interest for 72 months on all 2016 GMC Yukon and most 2016 Canyon models. Or get $8,000 below MSRP on select Yukon Denali vehicles in stock. GMC, we are professional grade.
The Blackhawk store has come to the Chicago Premium Outlets in Aurora. Visit today to find great deals on merchandise from past Winter Classics, Stadium Series games, and the 2013 and 2015 Stanley Cup Championships. Visit blackhawkstore.com for more information.
Do you have too many bills but not enough money? Would you like one lower payment for all debt, little or no money down? I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Our Chapter 13 plans stop collections and creditors in one day for as low as $95 every 2 weeks. Get rid of bill collectors and high car payments. Get one lower payment today. Call or click now.
When you need to be debt-free, call 1-800-CALL-PFG. That's 1-800-CALL-PFG.
you know, I don't know the analogy to give, but just the cooped up, you know, dog in the house all day and the owner gets home. I think we've been running around the house for too long, and we're ready to get out on the field and play some catch and hit and throw and be a part of everything we get to watch on TV. And we sit up late at night watching these wonderful games, and so we're excited.
Grandpa Rossi anxious to get the NLDS started. Cap and Holly with you for our Cubs playoff preview special here on CSN. When Joe Madden's team takes the field for Game 1 of the NLDS on Friday night, it will have been over 3 weeks since the team clinched the NL Central Division. Todd, any worry at all? You could be rusty. The Giants are razor sharp. They've been hot. They swept the Dodgers last weekend. They beat the Mets in New York in the wild card game. Does that concern you at all?
Well, it does. It's only about half the Cubs that it concerns me. And that's kind of a weird way of saying it, but it's the only way that sounds right. So you understand, I'm not worried about our pitching at all. Rest is a good thing. Even an extra few days can always be good for your pitching staff, your bullpen guys. I always feel like that's a juggling act, and I've heard it from too many general managers to understand it. You know, they'll tell me bullpen guys are either getting too much work or not enough. So that's always something you're dealing with anyway. With that being said, I do worry about the hitters, Cap. I mean, it's as simple as this. Yeah, the last game they played was on Sunday, last week, 5 days ago, and they don't play till tomorrow night. I understand that. Yeah, that worries me. That's a lot of days off. That's like an extended all-star break. And what you traditionally see when the wild card games are played and the DS game, games start is that there's this little run around the ring is what I like to call it. And you kind of see it as that first 3-4 innings. Nothing seems to kind of happen that first time through the lineup where guys are kind of feeling themselves out against the starting pitcher, warming themselves up to the series. Call it what you will. I need to see this Cubs team come out screaming because I've got numbers and stats and figures that tell me jump Johnny Cueto because he can be rough at the beginning of a ball game. So, yeah, I'm slightly concerned, but that's the only phase or part of it that I'm concerned about. John Lester, he's good. Listen, maybe we're staring at goose eggs, but I want to see those bats come out quick.
All right, Holly, finish these sentences. The Cubs will win the series from the Giants if
the bats come out quick. We start to see good offense early in a ballgame.
All right, the Giants will win the series from the Cubs if
their starting pitching does what it needs to do, which is carry that ball club. I'm talking 7-8 innings, a start for however long the series goes.
This series MVP will be.
Oh, that's a good one, but I think it's going to be a righty. I'm going Chris Bryant, maybe a Ben Zobrist. I'll go Ben Zobrist.
How about that? There you go. All right, thank you for watching our Cubs playoff preview special. Don't forget, Holly and I back at 7 o'clock Friday night for a 1-hour pregame show from Wrigley.
Tune in.
And as soon as the game goes final, switch back to CSN. All the highlights, locker room interviews. You want the hometown call, you're going to get it right here. We'll see what happens. I'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
For Todd, I'm Cap. See ya.
Reimagining possibilities to meet new challenges. At Tata Consultancy Services, our 300,000 consultants do just that for every client, every single day. Proud sponsor of the Bank of America Chicago Marathon. Tata Consultancy Services, experience certainty.
Get the Bob Roman Indy. Oh, now, to pay the rent. Get the Bob Roman Mr. Bill. Ooh. I scared him. How was that?
I like that. Bob Roman.
Now playing on DirecTV Cinema.
Hey, Dad. I made it here. Mom was right. It's perfect. Tide's rising. 40 yards.
The Shallows. Movies start at Channel 125.
Get up!
What time is it?
I think I know what it's time for.
If your family is complete, the safest and most effective form of birth control is a vasectomy. Call today for a same-day consultation and procedure in one of our 3 state-of-the-art facilities.
Daddy, how are babies made?
I can tell you how they're not made.
Advanced Urology Associates. Safe, simple, and effective.
Mike Anderson Chevrolet is the Chevy Giant.
And we have giant savings and a giant selection.
If you're looking for your first, second, or third vehicle, we have a giant lot to pick from.
Now through October 10th, get 0% financing for 72 months on remaining 16s.
We have the vehicle you want.
We promise to keep car buying fun.
Visit Mike Anderson Chevrolet in Maryville or Chicago.
Visit Mike Anderson Chevrolet in Merrillville at I-65 and 61st Avenue.
Mike Anderson Chevrolet, the Chevy Giant.
See you soon.
He's been begging me all season long, even on the day the Cubs clinched the division. Anthony Rizzo worried about when he's finally going to get to play Beer Money. So we're going to test his knowledge on this edition. Coming your way, Beer Money 2.0. Here goes nothing. I know fans have been waiting anxiously for this opportunity, a Beer Money episode with Anthony Rizzo and his lifeline. And boy, is this a good lifeline. You'd be mine. David Ross. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay, well, here's how the game goes. As you know, since you watch during rain delays so often, I'm going to start it with some easier questions, Anthony, and some of them just need really good energy and enthusiasm behind them, and we'll let you walk away with some really cool prizes for Anthony. And as the questions get harder, the prizes get better, and you might need David's help, okay? So here goes nothing. The first question.
Yes. Let's go. What do we got?
What is your favorite Italian meal?
My favorite Italian meal.
Just tell us.
Pasta.
Is that a meal, or is that just kind of in everything?
Very vague. It's everything, but it's my favorite meal. Pasta and marinara sauce and chicken cutlets. Chicken
I'm
parm.
really glad. And because you used the hands and had so much energy, we'll let you dive into this, because that's a pretty good answer. Dive into this bag here.
Did I get the answer right?
Mm-hmm, you did.
How could you get it wrong? Ooh.
Oh! The dolphin slipper?
That is nice.
A footy. Oh!
That is phenomenal.
How about that? Oh, yes. Yeah, okay. Good luck charm.
Yep.
Number 2.
So I get to keep this, or?
Wait, we can take that back, right?
You only get to keep it if you continue to get the questions right, guys. Yes.
My foot's in it now. So.
And clearly, you think that makes it even more valuable on the street, Anthony, I'm afraid.
Very, very true.
Here's the deal. That was your warm-up question, just really to get you warmed up.
What a great gift.
Okay, now this one really takes some effort. A little bit more of a warm-up question, and you can help him with this. But your brother played football, as we know. You enjoy football. We're gonna need you to take off the slipper and show us your best touchdown dance.
I thought these were questions.
Well, we're warming you up.
Let's get the energy level high.
You gotta go the Gronk spike. Wham! And I would just do the classic.
Yes, yes! What do you say? What do you give him on that?
That's a 10. I like the spike. You got aggressiveness, aggression get out with the celebration dance. So perfect.
That took some rhythm. Nicely done. You can put back on your slipper and you can go for one more prize. Don't you look, Anthony Vincent. Ooh, he's. Oh. I don't know. You'll have to open it up. I actually don't know.
The bobblehead of me.
Oh, I get the squirting, the fan squirter.
That'll be perfect.
Yes. Perfect.
Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna start giving you some questions. That was really just to get your mojo flowing here, you know, all that. So, in which state? Let's start. Where was David Ross born? In which state?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one.
Man. I gotta go Florida.
Ooh, here's the deal.
Or Georgia.
Okay.
Pick one.
Georgia.
Ding, 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 ding. Yeah, nice. High five.
Well done, gentlemen. Okay. Go ahead, dig in there. Gosh, so far so good, but you're gonna have to start giving some of these back, I'm telling you.
Oh my, these are the best.
Goldfish. But you can't open them.
Yeah, but if I have to give one back, I'll give the fan back.
Okay. Snacks.
He's already deciding which, oh boy. Well, are you hungry?
No.
Like right now? You
no,
need
but they're goldfish.
But
so.
they're the best. Yeah. He's got goldfish, his dolphin slipper. This is really like Christmas morning. Is this the best beer episode so far, Beer Money, that you've ever played?
Hands down.
Okay.
Besides the ladies singing Why am I blanking? Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam.
On the corner over here. She's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Oh, I'm still alive. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm still alive.
Just take the $100. I'm done. That's good.
I'm still alive. Yeah, 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 yeah.
She was pretty good. She was. All right, here we go, Anthony. Next question. We need you to choose an easier or a hard word. The easier is supposed to give you, in most episodes, it would give you $10. The harder one would give you $20, and I know which one you're going for. But if you get it right, you can move on to the bonus one, which is very tricky. This is what we're doing. We're doing a little spelling, and it's going to involve your teammates.
If we're going spelling, I'm going easy. Easy.
I'm the worst spell on the team.
Easy.
Okay, well, this reliever would be very disappointed. You can't get Joe Smith's name right.
Okay. S. M.
The whole name. Give us the first
Can I
and
have
last.
the spelling of Joe as well, Anthony?
J-O-E. Space. S-M-I-T-H.
Well done.
Let's go to Rob Straczynski.
Oh, he's already calling who the extra hard.
I don't even need the hard one.
Okay.
Zastrinsky, right?
Zastrinsky.
Can you give me the pronunciation?
Rob. Oh my gosh.
No way.
Just kidding. I mean, this is tremendous.
That was phenomenal.
Okay.
Seriously?
Yes.
I don't even need the lifeline.
No,
Guys,
not
hold on,
yet.
Give him the middle one. Give him the middle. You got one more. What about Matt Caesar?
That would have been your medium.
Your medium one.
S. C. Caesar. S-Z-C-C-C-Z-R. Caesar.
No, we should have ended on.
Matt, I'm sorry. We should have just stuck with Strizny for you. S-Z-C-Z-U-R. Yes. We won't make you give back a prize, though, for that, because I don't know what you would choose. The goldfish are definitely not going back. Okay. This will... You're going to need David's help on this, I promise. This gets people all the time. It's much trickier than you think. But together, you can do this together. You guys need to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game with the correct lyrics. There's a few tricky ones in this song. Look,
right.
I see the focus.
All right.
I see the focus.
You ready?
Do we have to sing it?
On one, on two, a three.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd.
Oh, yes.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back for it. Is it go back or get back?
Come back. Get back. Get back.
Get back. Get back for its root. Root for the Cubbies.
Nicely
If
done.
they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Woo, let's get some runs.
I feel so bad. I gotta look at the editor right now. No? You're gonna have to give me one. So, you guys actually got everything right.
Except. It sounds like my wife. You've done everything right, but I've heard this line before.
It is actually Cracker Jack.
Oh,
it
you
is
don't get
not
more than one. Good point. Yeah,
some peanuts and Cracker Jack.
But see, we come to the park with our families, so we buy multiple boxes of Cracker Jacks. So that's kind of how we did it, and so that's where we messed it up. But I get it, Cracker Jack.
I see why they put you behind the plate to talk to
There's
you.
a lot of foul balls. There's a lot of foul balls. I talk umpires into things, right?
You
It's
do,
like-
and honestly, you've talked us into keeping your prizes because the effort was there, and that's a very good point. Multiple. Give me some gold. Okay, guys, keep it rolling.
All right.
Here we go.
Michael Jack.
You guys can both work together on this. I need you to give me all the names you can on the 2015 NLCS roster in 30 seconds. And she's going to give you your go time. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. And you'll get go.
Quentin Berry, Tommy Lustella, Anthony Rizzo, David Ross, John Lester, Kyle Hendricks, Jake Arrieta, Chris Bryant, Javi Baez, Addison Russell, Trevor Cahill, Pedro Strop, Justin Grimm, Hector Rondon, C.J. Edwards, Travis Wood. I gotta be close.
The Bean, was the Bean on there?
The Bean was not on there.
Backup catcher. Did we get Miggy?
Miggy Montero.
Give him a prize.
Okay, that was pretty good, guys.
17.
17.
Who did we miss?
Let's see. I don't remember hearing you. Did you say Miggy? You did.
Was that Miggy?
Austin
Late?
Jackson. Dexter
Soler.
Fowler. What about Starlin?
Starlin. Oh, how do we forget that? You started, so I just was relying on you. Really, it's not my fault. Really. I could get a prize.
I went with the one you thought we'd forget, and Quentin Berry.
Right. Well, and that was your first. That's
Austin
one.
Jackson.
What about
First thing popped in my head was the Bean.
Dexter?
Yeah, Dexter.
Yeah, and
I don't know if we
now
said
with
Dexter.
San Diego again for a second go round. Pitcher, Indiana kid.
Oh, Clayton Richard.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't like him anyways.
Oh, boy. Hey, take
That's
yourself.
not true. That's not
Take
true.
yourself. Pick yourself out a prize. Pick out a prize, and David, because
Fans, we get prizes no matter what. We got 17.
okay,
What do we got
let's show them what you.
Oh, free hugs.
Free hugs.
Nice. You got a full uni. You got a full outfit. There's no chance he's fitting into this thing. Right, what size did you get him?
I
Big butt size?
Yes.
There they are. Large thighs. Look at you.
It's a little wet.
Nailing it.
I don't want to ruin my sandal.
I don't want to, but nothing. No.
Yeah, don't ruin that dolphin.
Don't ruin the dolphin flip flop.
No.
Okay. Do you feel like David should get maybe a prize too? Because
No.
I'm gonna steal them all when we get inside anyways.
Okay.
It's okay.
Get the Bob Roman Indy. Oh, now. To pay the rent. Get the Bob Roman Mr. Bill. Ooh. I scared him. How was that?
I like that.
Bob Roman.
Do you have too many bills but not enough money? Would you like one lower payment for all debt, little or no money down? I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Our Chapter 13 plans stop collections and creditors in one day for as low as $95 every 2 weeks. Get rid of bill collectors and high car payments. Get one lower payment today. Call or click now.
When you need to be debt-free, call 1-800-CALL-PFG. That's 1-800-CALL-PFG.
this has been so
All
much
these
fun.
prizes.
Okay, guys.
Wow.
This one, this is where you'll need his help. How many teams did David Ross play for? Has he played for in his career? And then you'll get an extra prize if you can tell him who they are. Yeah.
Oh
Do you think you could do this actually?
Yeah, I had to do this the other day. It took me a while, but I got it now, I think.
Does it count for the teams you played for twice?
No, how many teams I played for, so not how many times.
Dodgers,
Good job.
Red Sox,
Good shot.
Cubs. A lot in between there.
There was a lot of bouncing around there for a little bit.
Red Sox, Cubs, Braves, Reds,
Nice.
San Diego.
Boom.
Wow. One away, Anthony.
So it's 7. Thanks for that answer. Okay.
What? I really.
Dodgers, Red Sox, Cubs, Padres.
First team I got traded from the Dodgers. Last day of spring training to they're in our division, I'll tell you that.
Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, Tony, yeah.
Good
work, buddy. Nice work. Nice work.
Lifeline, I wouldn't have never guessed that one. I was leaning towards the Diamondbacks for some reason, but he hit his first home run off the Diamondbacks, Mark Grace.
Wow.
A little bonus trivia there for the people. Nice. Nice. This is just an educational show, too. We're just doing it all today.
I don't even know where to go. But the next, actually, since you started it, I'll just go to the next one. You do get a prize, so keep that one in the bank. We'll get down to the bag in a minute. But who did he hit his 100th home run off of? It doesn't have to be who. You can help him with the pitcher, but what team? I won't make it too difficult for you.
I have no idea.
They're also in our division.
The Reds. Can I use my lifeline?
I mean, it's a little late for that, but I suppose so. Yes, you can use your lifeline.
I think it was the Brewers, right?
Brew Crew?
No, it wasn't. I don't even know. See? Yeah, you told me before we started. I mean,
the Phillies, they're not in our division.
How confident? You just cheated. You looked at the card. It was the Phillies.
Oh, yeah. It was a changeup. That's right. I remember now.
Do you know who it was off of then?
A lefty. No. I don't know his name. I was too excited about rounding the bases. I forgot who it was.
It was really, shockingly, it was really early in the season.
It was.
It was. Shockingly. It wasn't shocking to me, but thanks, Riz, that you had a lot of confidence in me. I appreciate that.
You know, we're gonna let David hit the prize for you next, though, because he's been eyeing this bag.
I get to look in there? Mm-hmm. Ooh, I could use this today. The sore muscle rub. My legs could definitely use the sore muscle rub after that slide and first to home last night. That stunk. Ooh, let me get you one. Hold on. This is what I wanted. Here, there you go, Tony.
All right.
Okay. All right.
I'll throw this on Mr. Dolphin because it's not going on me.
You could use that for Halloween or something.
This is kind of cute.
It's coming up.
It is. Nice.
Nice.
Oh, I think that's great.
Yes.
Okay, well, boy, you guys are doing fantastic work. I can't believe we haven't taken any prizes back. That's winners right
We're having
there.
too much fun.
Okay, who is the youngest player on your team right now?
Oh, boy. Youngest player on our team right now, Albert Amora Jr.
How old?
He's 21. 22.
Yeah, there we go. You see how I helped you out there?
So it goes Amora, then Addie.
I think
Is that right? Amora, Addie. Hold CJ.
Rob's Strizny's in there,
24,
too.
25. I don't know much about Rob. He doesn't talk much.
How old's Hendricks?
26.
12, 13?
26.
Kyle looks like the youngest on the team for sure.
But he can pitch.
He can really pitch. Got 2 knocks the other day, too. He's starting to hit. What's going on?
All right, Anthony, we're getting down. We're getting down there.
Oh, what am I, chopped liver?
A golf towel? Dolphin's golf towel?
Oh, don't take it off the bag, sir. You may have to give it back.
That's all right. I won't take the tag off.
He doesn't listen to the rules very well, does he?
Can you imagine?
Opening the goldfish, taking the squirter out of the box.
Look at this.
Can you imagine what if he's like in the classroom during tests?
No.
How were you when you did tests in elementary? Were you honest?
Straight A's.
Straight A's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not what I asked.
Try getting him to focus on the field. Okay, when I'm playing, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
He's off everywhere.
Here's the key. You just bring him.
Bring gifts.
Gifts.
Come bearing gifts.
Bearing gifts.
Now playing on DirecTV Cinema.
War is coming.
If we do not unite, our world will perish.
You might want to head home, big man.
Well then, we'll protect the kingdom. With this.
Warcraft. Now playing on DirecTV Cinema. Movies start at channel 125.
My 95-year-old mother developed a deep bed sore in the nursing home. They told me this was normal, but it didn't sound right to me. I immediately called the nursing home lawyers at Pintas and Mullins.
If you or a loved one has suffered from bed sores, sepsis, broken bones, physical or sexual abuse, malnutrition, or choking, call me now and we'll investigate your case.
Pintas and Mullins got my family $800,000 from the insurance company.
You pay us nothing unless we get you a settlement.
Get up.
What time is it?
I think I know what it's time for.
If your family is complete, the safest and most effective form of birth control is a vasectomy. Call today for a same-day consultation and procedure in one of our 3 state-of-the-art facilities.
Daddy, how a baby made?
I can tell you how they're not made.
Advanced Urology Associates. Safe, simple, and effective.
These are for you. You ready?
I don't know.
What is Anthony's favorite magic trick?
Favorite magic trick? He doesn't even know. Is it a card trick?
Nope.
I hope you know.
I have no idea. Disappearing act?
Nope.
Why would you say that?
I don't know. I'm reaching. They're pulling a rabbit out of a hat. That was like my day. They don't even do that anymore, do they? It was like when I was a kid.
I think they do.
I have no idea.
I don't know what that is.
It looks like
slide.
a dance,
It's like a
doesn't it?
slide. The electric
Is it a slide?
What's the slide?
Sure, it's whatever you say it is.
That's a softball question.
Oh, my favorite magic trick. Yeah. Oh, it's whatever I say it is. Yeah. Oh, I got a good trick where I could pick the card, any card,
See,
and
I
I
told
make
you
it.
the card trick.
Yep.
See?
He got it right.
Does that on the plate.
I
Yes.
thought you guys were going the
Boom.
slide.
I get to get in here.
Yes, you do. Get on in there.
Oh, baseball cards.
You think you're in there?
Yes. I doubt I'm in here. Some poor kid gets my card. He's going to be really disappointed. He'll be like, oh, Ross. He's like, come on. You know, the whole box set. Whole box set.
Well, you could get more where that came from, David, if you can tell us.
I've got baseball cards, and I've got sore muscle rub. And he's got all the good stuff.
I know how to pick.
There's really some good stuff still in here.
Okay,
All we need you to do is tell us which AAA team Anthony played prior to being called up to the Cubs in 2012.
The AAA team?
Yeah.
Prior to be calling up with the Cubs, so it's got to be a Cubs AAA team? So it was Iowa. It's been Iowa forever, so, right?
We can't trick you.
Okay, I'm like, is this a trick question? Because this seems really easy. Yes, more bag stuff.
More bag stuff.
Oh,
wow, you're hanging that
Oh, look here. A signed picture from Kelly, but it's to Anthony, and I got it. I didn't lose. Lucky me. To Anthony, worth way more than 100. That's right. Thanks, Kelly. I appreciate you making this out to Anthony.
You know
for
what?
me.
I might be able to make out one more too.
Perfect. Boom. Yes. That's going in the locker. There we go.
This is gonna go over so well. All right, this one actually, I think you'll get this. What is Anthony's favorite kind of cheese? Do we have that right?
For sure.
For sure?
For sure.
Parmesan. How is it not You put 4 pounds of Parmesan on your spaghetti every time you eat. 4 pounds. I'm not kidding, half a bottle. How is it not Parmesan cheese? It's not something easy like cheddar, right? It's got to be some Italian cheese, right? He's so Italian. Is there such thing as Italian cheese? Oh, mozzarella. No.
Look at him shaking it.
No.
He'd never guess it.
Why don't you give him a good hint
Give me a
then?
lifeline.
Lifeline.
Okay. Lifeline. Can I call Anthony? Hello, Anthony. What's your favorite kind of cheese?
It's ricotta cheese.
Ricotta. Oh, that makes sense.
Polio? Is that how you say it? Polio?
Yeah. How do you know this?
We have our people.
Google tells you everything.
All right.
I'm not doing very good.
No, you are.
He's doing great.
Put that picture back. Maybe I can get it to me.
The sore muscle rub back. Stinks. Ooh, I see a Slim Jim in there that I'm eyeing.
Is that?
Eyeing that Slim Jim.
What else? I'm gonna need to come up with a question on the spot here. We're kind of down to the bottom of the barrel for Anthony question. You got a good question for David that you think he might have a chance of getting?
Do I have a good question for David?
Yeah, kind of like you came up with me for the other day. In the middle of the spot. Who hit the walk-off home run? This was Anthony's very own question, not about Anthony, but who hit the walk-off home run on Mother's Day?
Oh, Javi Baez.
Nicely done, David Ross.
Yeah, woo. Hey, I know my team. I know anything about my field teammates. I don't know off the field stuff. I got a whole family I got to take care of.
Who was the pitcher I hit my first home run with?
Against. First pitcher, Anthony Rizzo hit his home run against. You'll never guess this one. It was we were with the Padres.
Pod squad.
Pod squad?
Can I get the team?
Nationals. Left-handed pitcher on the Nationals. 2011.
Okay. Was it Gio Gonzalez?
No.
Was it lefty reliever, sinker baller? What's his name? No. I don't know.
Is he still with the Nationals?
No.
No.
What's it? Is it a reliever?
He was a starter.
Oh,
Yeah.
Get those all the fastballs, sinkers?
Yeah. No. Not
What's
Ross
his-
Detweiler?
Detweiler. No. I don't know.
John.
Third time's a charm.
Thanks.
John.
Oh, John, I can think of right now. And I know he didn't play for the Nationals. John.
Starts with an L. Last name starts with an L.
I don't know.
John.
Lannon. Too many blows to the head. I don't remember. I don't even remember John Lannon.
You're in the American League.
Oh, that's why. That's what it was. That's what it was. My journey of baseball. It's not coming back to me real well right now.
Truth be told, David, we probably have to take back all the prizes if you'd have been the one playing the show today.
You didn't even have to bring a bag if I was
Good news
playing.
is, Anthony's walking home looking pretty good here, but we are going to let you go through and show him everything he's going to get to go home with tonight.
You get to get this nice Slim Jim. No more snacks for you before the game.
All right,
No more
yeah.
snacks.
Hold that for
Yeah,
me
let's
after.
hold this for after.
Here, take the goldfish too.
Yeah, we just got a little bit of what we call a weight problem. So we save it for after the game when he's burned lots of calories. Again, gummy bears.
Oh, the gummy bears.
We'll save them for later.
For later.
Save these for later.
Good
Oh,
idea.
look what we got here.
This also. What do you think?
The Catman.
The
The
Catman.
Catman.
Just for you. Good thing I didn't pick this one up because there was another one just to you. They weren't expecting me to be on the show today.
Oh, we were. There's one down
You
here.
can have my muscle rub.
All right, thanks.
I'm saving the best for last.
Thank you.
A couple more baseball cards, Tony.
Show him the one, though, that he's really going to like.
You're really gonna like. What's this? Taylor Swift. Mega Mix by Dante.
Oh, that'll be a good one.
Yeah.
Dante to Don.
Just share that. Dante nails it.
And this.
And then
this
last
might be,
but not least, my rookie card. Oh, just for you, buddy. Signed. Just so you know, I signed that. Really, I really did.
Look at this.
Just for you. It's gold. Gold plated.
Wow. The first home run of Ross's career certainly was a memorable one.
Right in my bat speed. I think it was on 82.
Card 149 of 550. So back in the day, they thought you were worth 550 cards to sign.
They should have known better. They should have made 1 million of them. Because I was going to have a long career and win a World Series with the Red Sox and the Chicago Cubs.
Boom.
Boom.
He said it.
Nailed that. He said.
Guys, I feel like you've nailed this episode of Beer Money. How do you feel, Anthony? You were a little bit nervous coming into today, but I think you've walked away.
I honestly feel like I've been the best contestant on this show since watching this show.
And I think I'm the worst. Yeah, no, it doesn't surprise me. So we've got the high and low today. It's perfect.
You guys, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was awesome.
Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Kelly. High five. Yes, thank you.
Is your lunch break a race against the clock? You run here, you run there, until everything comes to a screeching halt. Now is the time for a 5-hour energy protein shot. 21 grams of protein and 100 little calories. It's not lunch, it's energy and protein, and a lot faster than fast food. 5-hour energy protein shots. Energy, protein, 100 calories. Available at these fine stores.
Esurance does auto insurance a smarter way, like their photo claims tool. It helps settle your claim quickly, which saves time, which saves money. And when they save, you save. That's auto and home insurance for the modern world. Esurance, an Allstate company. Click or call. Esurance does insurance a smarter way, which saves money, like bundling home and auto coverage, which reduces red tape, which saves money. And when they save, you save. That's home and auto insurance for the modern world. Esurance, an Allstate company. Click or call.
The best things in life are free.
Choose excitement.
But you can give them to
Choose action.
bees. I need
Choose Hollywood Casinos and you've already won. 2 Chicagoland locations with more of the games you want, more of the generous rewards you deserve, and celebrations that shine all night. That's the kind of star power that can take you places. Hollywood Casino, Aurora, and Joliet. There's no place like Hollywood.
Welcome to Inside Look, presented by Cadillac. I'm David Kaplan. After spending time on both coasts, Kyle Hendricks now calls the Midwest his home, on and off the playing field. His unique and analytic approach to pitching in the major leagues has earned him respect around Major League Baseball and has him on a very short list of candidates for the 2016 Cy Young Award. This is his story.
If you go back to when you were 12, you start working with a guy named Clyde Wright, the salty former Angels pitcher. And one of the quotes I found from him and from your dad was he had to use his fastball to set up his changeup. Now he uses his changeup to set up his fastball. But you were at 82 miles an hour, you start doing exercises, and now you're getting up into the high 80s. Is that when you first started believing you could make money at this game?
Right about then, you know, late in high school, more in college. When I got into my later college years, I realized, okay, I might have a chance at least to play in pro ball. And if you get a chance to play in pro ball, you never know what could happen, you know. But yeah, Clyde was instrumental for me. He taught me how to use my fastball from a very young age, and he also taught me how to throw my curveball, which was a big pitch for me all the way through high school. I kind of abandoned it a little bit in college, a little bit in pro ball. And now I'm starting to use it more and more actually today. So a lot of things he taught me, I mean, are actually showing up now in my game, which you know, I have to thank him a lot for. But at the end of the day, yeah, learning how to use my fastball, my changeup has become my next go-to pitch. So kind of those working off of each other, and at times making my changeup, you know, throwing my changeup to set up my fastball, like you said. It's been a different game plan. It just keeps hitters off balance for me to not throw my sinker in there on expected counts, I guess.
So take me back to your childhood. You're a California kid. Dad is a golf pro. And he says to you, hey, I'm calling you out of school today. You're going to play in this Torrey Pines Pro-Am with Rory Sabatini. And you're hitting drives where they're like, who is this kid? Take me back to that.
Yeah, that was a fun day. You know, my dad he was a golf pro, you know, all the time I was growing up. So I had golf clubs in my hand, the plastic ones when I was 2. That's all I was doing was swinging golf clubs. But he could even see it once I started getting 7, 8, and baseball started picking up. That really was my love. And I could spend all day out on a baseball field, whereas going to a driving range, putting in the work at golf, I really wasn't a fan of. But that day in particular, it was in high school, maybe my junior, senior year. Yeah, he called me up, said, taking you out of school, you're going to go play. I said, hell yeah, why not? So we go down to Torrey Pines, play with Rory Sabatini, and I played really good that day. I got lucky. I think he ended up shooting 71, Rory.
You shot 73.
I shot 73, and I was coming for him on the back there. I think I shot even on the back, I think. But it was fun, you know, just competing, having some fun out there. I really don't put a lot into golf, I would say, you know, but it's processed from there. A lot of these guys on the staff, they like to play, you know, so when we go on the road trips, it's good competition getting out there with the guys every once in a while.
When you're able to do that at that age against a guy who obviously is accomplished as a pro golfer, it never crossed your mind that, wow, baseball is going to be a tough road. I might be able to do this.
Maybe it was in the very back of my mind, you know. I knew what I wanted to do, though, even from that age. Baseball was it. I loved it. Like I said, I knew going into something that you couldn't put all the time in, like, you know, like golf, if I wasn't going to be out on the range all the time and really love it and enjoy it, why was I going to put myself through that? So I said, you know what, baseball's what I love, and I saw a path for me. I saw where it was going into college and possibly pro ball. So I said, you know what, take this opportunity and just make the most of it.
And you end up at Dartmouth. How does a kid from California, there's great schools in California, how do you end up at Dartmouth as, I think, did you get a degree in economics?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, econ. It's good, you know, obviously different ends of the U.S. there, but I had a couple schools in California. University of San Diego was my second choice, so KB and I think he was obviously a year or two younger than me, but we could have played there for at least a year together, I think. What the decision came down to, I guess, academics number one. You know, just having to turn down that kind of school was very tough to do. But honestly, almost just as important for me was the ability to play right away. San Diego was a big baseball program. Coming out of high school, I wasn't highly touted. I knew I was going to have to get the reps, you know, be seen as much as possible, I guess. San Diego, like I said, big baseball program like that, you never know. You could be sitting out your whole freshman year, maybe some of your sophomore year even. I didn't know for development what that was going to do for me, so took the chance. Like I said, went for academics number one to Dartmouth, but I knew I'd have a good chance to play as a freshman. Played my whole freshman year, sophomore year. Obviously, I wouldn't change the path for anything now.
Were there people that doubted you where you went, I'm going to prove all of you wrong, I can make it, or did those doubts ever creep into your mind?
There's select times, I guess, where doubts creep into your mind. That's human nature, you know. When you're going through tough times, can't find a way to get anybody out, it seems like. But that's when the times where you learn more about yourself. By the time you come out of those ruts, you've learned more about what you need to do to be successful. So I really, yeah, there were times I maybe doubted myself, but overall, obviously there were a lot of doubters. But you can't blame them. I mean, people are going to come along and say this, say that. At the end of the day, you have to know what you want to do and stay true to who you are. I always had a trust in myself. The coaches I had that were put around me always trusted me. They saw the ability I had, what I could do pitching-wise. So when it doesn't jump out on paper with all the stuff, you know, don't be so quick to just push it to the side, maybe.
How do you get to work with Clyde Wright? Rod Carew talk to you? Is that because of the golf relationship with your dad or some other way?
Yeah, the Rod Carew, actually, my dad grew up in Minnesota, so Rod was like his idol growing up. My dad was a big baseball fan, obviously. But Rod just happened to go into my dad's golf club one day to play and pulled out his credit card. My dad recognized him, obviously, and my dad was like, I had to stop him. Rod, I'm sorry, man, I got to introduce myself. And Rod is just the nicest guy on the planet, obviously. So that began in high school. He wanted to come out. My dad actually brought him out to our high school field. You know, I got to meet him, and then he wanted to work with me a little bit. I said, why not? How can you turn that down from a Hall of Famer? So he actually worked with me on some bunting, which I knew obviously I was going to want to pitch. So he wanted to give me some hitting lessons, which I took, but I knew those weren't going to pan out too well, obviously, as you could see. I knew I was always going to pitch. So the bunting aspect, and I still use some of the tips he's taught me today. But he's an unbelievable guy. He's always willing to help. It was a big help for me when I was younger.
All right, so you're an 8th round draft pick of the Texas Rangers. You head down there, and your mind is, I'm going to pitch for the Rangers someday. Then all of a sudden, phone rings, and, hey, thanks for everything. We just traded you to the Chicago Cubs. Take me to that day.
That was a wild one. That was my first full year in pro ball. I was in high A. And usually, you know, as a young guy, especially your first full year, you're not expecting to get traded. It wasn't on my radar at all, or Christian Villanueva, who was the other guy traded with me. We showed up to a road trip. We had just gotten there day one, about a 6-hour bus ride out of the way. As soon as we show up to the field, go out, play catch. As soon as I'm done, come in, call us both in the manager's office. And it happened all right, you know, it was a whirlwind experience, really. Like I said, since I wasn't expecting it, got on the phone with the GM, talked to him, you know, told me what was going on. They said, all right, you and Via grab all your stuff, and as soon as you can get down to Florida, you're going to Daytona Beach with the Cubs. You know, so I had some family, had to call the family, let them know. They were all shocked. They didn't know what was happening either, really. But it provided a huge opportunity for me. It opened up a lot of doors. A lot of those pitching coaches I talked about in the minor leagues that I worked with were in this Cubs organization coming up in the minor leagues. So, you know, if I would have stayed with Texas, who knows what that path would have looked like, but getting the opportunity and getting traded over here, working my way up AA, AAA with the resources we had here, obviously worked out
So when they call you into the manager's office, you have no idea why.
Mm-hmm. No, it was the day of the deadline, July 31st. So
did that cross your mind then?
I knew it was the deadline, and when I got called in, it crossed my mind maybe, but you're still like, what the heck? I mean, you weren't thinking about it at all, yourself getting traded. So it starts finally creeping in there as you're walking in the door, and then they hit you with it. They tell you, and you know, your wheels just start spinning. You know, where am I going from here? What's happening? Whirlwind experience, to say the least.
So the day of the trade, a good friend of mine is a guy named Dan Evans. He calls me up and he said, did you just text me about Kyle Hendricks? I said, I did. The Cubs just acquired him. He's like, oh my God. He said, I've represented him. I've been involved with him. They just made an unbelievable trade. I'm telling you, that guy's going to be a big-time part of what the Cubs do. Take me back to dealing with him and starting to get here and in the minors going, I can be part of something historic.
Yeah, that was Dan Evans. Yeah, he helped me out a lot after I got drafted. He was a really awesome guy, had a lot of faith in me. He was one of those guys, you know, that could see my pitchability from a young age. So, but coming over this Cub system, you saw it early. I was called into a January camp with a lot of rookies. You know, the front office kind of put it on through Theo, really. But preparing the rookies and the young guys for what was to come and what could happen historically, you know, if the plan they were putting in place were to come to fruition, which obviously we're seeing this year. But, you know, this process has been in place for years. And a lot of the things we did in January there, working with mental skills guys, working interview-wise, I mean, just to get ready for all these outside forces that approach you, not only in the major leagues, but if you were to go on to a World Series and win all, you know, there's a lot of things coming at you. They really prepare you for that from a young age in this organization, and it's helped me a lot, just be comfortable from day one when I stepped in this clubhouse, got along with all the guys, kind of taking it from there. So, yeah, obviously you see what happens on the field, but all of the background stuff plays as big of a role, I think, into where the team is today.
Get the Bob Roman Indy. Oh, now. To pay the rent. Get the Bob Roman Mr. Bill. Ooh. I scared him. How was that?
I like that.
Bob Roman.
Do you have too many bills but not enough money? Would you like one lower payment for all debt, little or no money down? I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Our Chapter 13 plans stop collections and creditors in one day for as low as $95 every 2 weeks. Get rid of bill collectors and high car payments. Get one lower payment today. Call or click now.
When you need to be debt-free, call 1-800-CALL-PFG. That's 1-800-CALL-PFG.
You have a vision. It's behind everything you do. Even when you least expect it, it comes through. You know what you want, and we can help make it real. You need choices? We've got all kinds, including special finishes and papers. And they're all absolutely guaranteed. Because you have a vision, and we have your car. 500 start at just $9.99 when you enter 500TV at Vistaprint.com.
Theo came into our TV studio. This is back in, you'd already been traded to the Cubs. And he says, look, I know everyone's looking at us going, we're not very good here. He said the Cubs are coming hard, the Cubs are coming strong, and you talk to our minor league guys, the Cubs way is real. What do you remember about that?
Yeah, the Cubs way, you know, those words, they've always had phrases, sayings, things that really register with the young guys to keep them moving forward in the right way. It's always been team-oriented. From the minor leagues, you know, you're always trying to make it as an individual player, but to create that team feel in the lower levels is very difficult to do. So that's where I think the minor league personnel, again, not only the pitching coaches I had, the managers, everybody to the scouts in this organization, top to bottom, everybody knows what they're doing, is one goal in mind. And really, when you're working together that well, then you see the product come together on the field. So I think this plan was supposed to take a lot longer, but with some of these young guys, these position players we got, man, you saw it winning 97 games last year. It just ramped up the process. So they saw that last year, saw all the progress we made in the playoffs, kind of how all the young guys handled it, the experience. Coming into this year, obviously the free agent acquisitions they made to bolster the team and just say, here you go, here's your opportunity, go for it this year. It's really, the guys feel all the resources we have available to us and what we can accomplish with that.
Coming into this year, Joe said embrace the target. You knew there was going to be a target on this team. This was not Last year, hey, that was really cool. They won 97 games, but no one expected it. What was your offseason like to take it to another level and to deal with the pressure here? Because it's there.
Yeah, absolutely. The offseason was way different. Like you said, the one before, no expectation really. Just getting the process started with a lot of us young guys coming up onto the team. After 97 wins, last offseason much different. A lot of hype with the free agents we got. Obviously expected to be the best team in baseball almost. So yeah, from spring training day one, that's kind of Joe's thing. You know, he knows how to create the right environment for a team to thrive and to succeed. And so all these little sayings, embrace the target, don't let the pressure exceed the pleasure. All these things we really take to heart, and we know that we have to implement that to have success on the field, because it is a game at the end of the day. You have to enjoy it and you have to play loose, you know, if you're going to play your best. So yeah, dealing with the expectations, I think since we've dealt with it so far through the regular season, all this experience has helped us hopefully going into the postseason, because it's just going to be more of the same.
Have you ever looked around the clubhouse? Now here's this guy who's an economics degree from Dartmouth, and there's all different types of guys in there. John Lackey, I didn't come here for a haircut, I came here for jewelry. Let's get it on. Do you ever look at those guys and go, man, there's a bunch of different personalities?
100%. Everybody's so different, you know. But at the end of the day, they all have great values, and we're all really great guys. Everybody in that clubhouse is a great guy, and there's so many great relationships that have formed because of that. The team is so close, you know. I've been on other teams, not many obviously since I'm young, but this one in particular, guys go out outside the field so much to hang out, which you don't see a lot, I think, from other teams. Like I said, we have a lot of special guys that really get along, and the one goal in mind, and the pushing each other, you know, to work hard to get to that end goal and accomplish it, I think is what we're all here for.
Tell me about your relationship with your dad, because I ran into him at a charity event I emceed back early June, and he said, I was listening to you the other day on the air. You said something nice about my kid. Let me just tell you something. You haven't seen nothing yet, and here you're having this phenomenal season. Tell me about that relationship.
We've always had a good relationship. You know, he's gotten me from day one. We moved around a lot. He was a golf pro, like I said. That comes along with moving jobs, having to move through different states. So everywhere we would get up and go to, his number one job was getting me on the right team, whatever I needed to have the resources for me to play baseball. So he was always getting me great coaching, great teams to really play for, great organizations, I guess, you know, kids organizations to be a part of. And those resources he provided me with really opened up a world for me to just explore pitching and explore baseball. He was always there for me by my side, you know, pushing me, telling me, he always had confidence in me from day one. And like you just said, you know, even when I got in the big leagues, he gets nervous, he comes to the games, he doesn't know what to expect all the time, but at the end of the day, he's obviously one of my biggest fans, always supported me. I know he'll be here till the end.
With Custom Ink, you can design custom t-shirts and other great products for every occasion, from the first day of school to game day and everything in between. With the best collection of styles and graphics to choose from, it's easy to go online and create custom t-shirts and more for all of life's events. Get free shipping and on-time delivery, guaranteed. Go to customink.com to get started today.
Greg Maddux, that's the comparison people like to say to you. He pitches like Greg Maddux. We're talking about one of the 10 greatest pitchers in the history of the sport. Do you say no, or no, I embrace that, that's amazing?
A little bit of both, honestly. I embrace it 100%. It's very humbling that people say that about me. Also, on the other hand, the career he's had, I have a long, long way to go till that. So you have to push it to the side in that aspect, but I can see the pitchability, how he used to use his two-seam, pitching in and out, mixing speeds with guys. I think A big part of what I've learned from Greg is his mental approach to the game. He had a lot of simple thoughts. You know, he tried to go out there and make good pitches. I think that was one of his basic thoughts out there. That's really how I try and pitch when I go out there. You know, when you have all these convoluted thoughts coming up in your head, you got the hitter up there trying to do this to you, it's just too much going on, you know. And when things are going good, it gets a lot easier. Obviously, you have the confidence that comes along with it. So when you're rolling and you have simple thoughts and you're out there just trying to make good pitches, things kind of fall into place.
Have you ever had a chance to sit down with him and talk at length?
I haven't yet. I haven't met him. Hopefully one of these days I would love to talk to him. Like I said, probably more about the mental, because at the end of the day, I'm my own pitcher. I have my own routine. But I think the mental part of the game is where you can really draw and connect and learn from a lot of guys.
If I could set you up, you could have dinner with 2 or 3 people. Just you guys go off, get a bottle of wine, whatever it is, and you could have dinner with anyone, living or dead. Who would the people be at the table?
Maddox is one of them. I would probably love to have him there. A lot of these guys that just really pitch. Pedro Martinez was one of my favorite pitchers growing up. His bulldog mentality, almost how he approached it. So he might be one I throw in there. Jake Peavy was one of my favorite pitchers growing up too. His bulldog mentality, how he took the mound every day. Those are just a couple off the top of my head.
Anybody outside the sports world?
Outside the sports world.
Is there a musician, an actor, somebody you go?
I mean, my favorite, Will Ferrell, my favorite actor. I don't know how much I could learn about baseball from him.
Right.
But we could get him in the group maybe as comic relief.
Favorite movie?
Favorite movie, Step Brothers. Probably hilarious.
In most everything that he does.
Pretty much anything he does, I'll watch. Yeah.
Dream vacation that you'd like to do? Is it golf in Scotland or something else?
I think you nailed it. My dad and I have talked about it before. He's been over to Scotland a couple times. I've never been over to Europe at all. So I would love to travel to Europe, just period. But to go over there play golf, Scotland, I think that's definitely something I have to do one day.
ESPN does a Cy Young predictor, and they have 10 guys in the AL, 10 guys in the LA. They update it every single day. And your name is now on that list. I'm driving in this morning, MLB Network. The guy said, for me, if I'm voting, it's Hendricks or Bumgarner who you will watch pitch against the Cubs. When you hear that, do you pinch yourself? Where is your mind?
I'm not sure. It's not there exactly, I guess. It's kind of mind-blowing to me to be in that conversation at this point. Where I was at last year, kind of the mechanical issues I was having, working through that, finishing kind of strong, pitching well at the end of the year. But coming into spring, my goals definitely were not Cy Young or anything that elevated. I give myself lofty goals. I have trust in myself and confidence, don't get me wrong, but just the point I'm at, how could you blame me for not expecting that? At the same time, all that's coming along with it, those are all results-based, the ERA, all these numbers. Those are all results, and so as soon as you get to focusing on results, that's when the game can come up and bite you. So you have to trust in the process. Again, it's this mental approach of every time I take the mound, trying to make good pitches, control what's in my control. From there, you can't really, you can't control what the hitter does sometimes.
So does it frustrate you as a pitcher? You can't control the results. You could make a great pitch, saw a guy off, broken bat, and it's that far out of Ben Zobrist's glove. Doesn't mean you didn't make a good pitch. How do you handle the ups and the downs?
That's the whole mental game right there, exactly. It's keeping an even keel. You make a good pitch, you give up a hit, it's over with. It's on to the next pitch. If you get caught up in it, that's when you take it to the next pitch and then you start making pitches in the middle of the zone, your mind goes somewhere else, you can't be effective. So whatever happens, it's in the past, you move on, you keep the simple thoughts, make good pitches, more than likely you're gonna make a good pitch there. You get a ground ball, get out of the inning instead of giving up a double. The innings can change like that, so staying in the moment and staying aware and just making good pitches is all that counts.
Have you allowed yourself to think end of October, first couple days in November, and oh my God, the Chicago Cubs here or in an AL city just won the World Series?
100%. A lot of people on this team and in this front office have been thinking about that for years. And more than that, from the beginning of this year in spring training, that's 100% been a thought on everybody's mind. That moment when this ball club finally pulls through and does it, actually wins it, we all expect it in a way. We know that is where we're going and what's going to happen. But we know what it takes also. We have to come to the ballpark every single day and be prepared, get our work in. Even right now in September, we're getting our bodies ready, but we're coming in every day trying to win this ball game. keeping that competitive edge and that competitive mindset, not letting up any day, pushing us through all the way through the end of October, I think is what's going to bring us that success.
Do you ever dream about it?
All the time. I mean, who doesn't? Even speaking to guys like Lackey and Lester on this rotation who have won World Series, they've been in those big games, experienced those moments. That's what you dream about as a baseball player. There's all these individual accolades really mean nothing. At the end of the day, World Series is what you hear about. And for the Cubs, it's been so long. It'd be such an historical World Series. Everybody on this team is aware of what could happen.
Okay, so the question people have is, like in 08, those guys said, oh, we got tight. We had the best record in the National League. We got tight. And Mark DeRosa said a couple weeks ago, why did we get tight? We can't control 1908 or 1984 or whatever happened. We shouldn't have been tight, but we did. Last year, you guys weren't. How do you handle the pressure, which is going to be there when the playoffs start and all of a sudden the Chicago Cubs haven't won in 108 years?
It's drawn on that experience. Like you said, they were saying the same things last year. They say it every year, really, about the Cubs. Every year, this is going to be the year. It's always out there, and it's always out in the media, so it's how you perceive it, how you want to think about the situation. That's where Joe comes in. The environment he creates, the sayings he's had from day one in spring training, it's all grooming us so that when the moment comes, we will be able to handle it and basically put all the pressure to the side. I think the biggest part, though, is the experience from the playoffs last year. A lot of these young guys, it was their first time, for me, obviously, first time in a playoff. Just going through those games, going through the outside forces, the extra fans, the extra media, everything that comes along with it. Now, coming into this year, we know what to expect, and I think we'll be able to handle it.
What is it like playing for Joe Maddon?
The best. I mean, really, there's no other words to it. He has just such good feel for how to get a major league team through a long 162-game season. You can get worn out. You hear about the dog days in August, but I think we won 22 games in August. There's something to that. He knows when guys are kind of dragging, when guys are feeling good, and you let them play through. But when guys need a day off, when you need to take BP off, anything like that, giving guys the freedom to have their own routines, because everybody's body is different, and at this level, everybody is a professional. They know what they need to do to get themselves ready, and Joe just lets that kind of happen.
That's Inside Look, presented by Cadillac. Thank you to Kyle Hendricks, and thank you for watching. For more information on our next episode, and for more on Inside Look, log on to our website at csnchicago.com. I'm David Kaplan. We'll see you next time.
Did you know that the average funeral can cost more than $8,300? I didn't want my family burdened with the cost of my funeral, so I called Final Expense Direct and got a policy of my own. For as little as $1 a day, Final Expense Direct has policies that can help pay the cost of your funeral. Plus, you'll get this free family relief guide. There's no medical exam, and my policy can't be canceled.
Call now for a free quote. Call 800-254-5431.
This is important news for women who were administered chemotherapy intravenously for breast cancer and then suffered permanent hair loss. Some women administered the breast cancer chemotherapy drug Taxotere have suffered from permanent hair loss on scalp, eyebrows, and eyelashes. If you suffered permanent hair loss after chemotherapy for breast cancer, call the law offices of Davis & Crump right now to find out if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call now. Operators are standing by.
Have you or a loved one suffered an aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, or abdominal aortic aneurysm after taking the antibiotic prescription drugs Levaquin or Avalox?
Medical studies show an increased risk of these injuries: aortic dissection, aortic aneurysm, and abdominal aortic aneurysm. If you or a loved one used Levaquin or Avalox and suffered from these injuries,
act now. Time is limited to file a claim. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk.
Call 1-800-485-9116. That's 1-800-485-9116.
I'm Anthony Rizzo, and you're watching the Home for Cubs Baseball, CSN Chicago, presented by State Farm.
The
cooped up, dog in the house all day and the owner gets home. I think we've been running around the house for too long and we're ready to get out on the field.
I'm Sierra Santos. Coming up on SportsNet Central, presented by GMC. Enough about this even year business. The Cubs are ready to start this thing.
I'm Chuck Arfine. Kyle Long says one Bears rookie might as well be swimming with sharks. And this championship-tested group cannot wait to watch the Cubs make a run.
City's going to be on fire, so it'll be fun to see what they can do.
Use some common sense. Watch SportsNet Central right now.
You do dumbass things, pretty soon you're going to be labeled a dumbass.
To SportsNet Central, presented by GMC.
Our Cubs hunt for October and early November. Coverage is presented by Lexus. John Lester gets the ball tomorrow in Game 1. The last time he faced the Giants, he threw a complete game gem at Wrigley on September the 2nd. He gave up only 1 run on 3 hits. The Cubs beat the Giants 2-1, but that was then. This is now. Kelly Krall sets the stage from Wrigley in our 12 Days of Cubs, presented by State Farm.
We all know what time of year this is and what we're playing for.
The playoffs have finally arrived for the Cubs, and their first test, a Giants team that has won 3 of the last 6 World Series.
They're good. They know how to do this. I have a ton of respect for Boch. I've known Boch for a long time. You could see that how well they reacted to last night. There's Bumgarner. Not only him, though, the entire group. They just know how to do this. They're formidable, and it should be interesting.
The cooped up, dog in the house all day and the owner gets home. I think we've been running around the house for too long and we're ready to get out on the field and play some catch and hit and throw and be a part of everything we get to watch on TV. And we sit up late at night watching these wonderful games, and so we're excited. I was up late last night watching the game, and just as soon as it was over, I was like, okay, I can't wait till we get our turn.
It's going to be a good matchup. We know that. We've played them well. They're a tough team, and they're a dangerous team this time of year. Obviously, they've had really good success the last 4 or 5 years in the postseason, so it's going to be a good test. We're looking forward to it. Obviously, with the matchup tomorrow night, it's going to be a good one and throughout the series. We got our work cut out for us. We've had a nice amount of time off, and now it's going to be nice to get back on the field and playing some meaningful games.
The last 5 games between these two teams have been decided by 1 run, the Cubs winning 3 of those. But the postseason is another beast, and Game 1 on your home field is a tone setter.
We're a very good team and a strong team, and I feel like we're equipped to handle just about anything. When you win 103 games during the season, you go through a lot of ups and downs, and it's all about going out there and performing on Friday night. There's no hidden formula. There's no secret. It's going out there and giving your best on Friday night and trying to come away with a win.
I think it just depends on your team. I think if you allow the first game, if it doesn't go well, to get you down to where you're done, you're like, okay, we don't really care. We didn't win that game. Then you shouldn't be in that position anyway. I think our team's done a good job of, when we do lose games, we come back the next day fired up, ready to go, and almost give a better effort.
David Ross simplified the magnitude, saying they're all big, but that's why you put your best pitcher in Game 1. And that guy is John Lester, who has a .285 ERA in 16 career postseason starts.
I think where a lot of people get themselves in trouble, and I don't like to use the word scared, but I mean, that's kind of, you pitch timid, as opposed to just going out and attacking hitters and being, the fastball down and away in May works just the same as it does in October. But if you throw that fastball down and away timid, it's not going to work too well. So you have to take the same mindset, the same preparation.
Covering the Cubs here at Wrigley Field, I'm Kelly Krall for Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, Kelly, our Twitter question tonight: who will be the biggest X factor in the NLDS between the Cubs and Giants? Use the hashtag CubsTalk. We'll have some of your answers later in the show. And for more, we send across the studio to our Cubs postseason live team of Cap and Holly. Guys.
Thanks, guys. So it's here, the National League Division Series, the Cubs and the San Francisco Giants. Todd, let's talk about the layoff. Cubs have not played what you would call a meaningful game with some real, stakes and consequences in 3 weeks since they clinched, and they've had a few days off totally.
Well, I think Joe did a fantastic job down the stretch. I really do. I mean, I watched the intensity of the at-bats, and you're absolutely right. Some of those games didn't mean a whole lot to the Cubs, but, personally they did. I thought goals were in place. Guys were shooting for things. Addison Russell was, putting everything out there with hopefully a shot at 100 RBIs. He came up with 95. Valiant effort. But I thought the quality of the at-bats was good late. The problem that I do have is the fact that they haven't played since Sunday, and they've had some time off. And what traditionally happens a lot is getting those bats going again can sometimes be a sticking point for a team. There is evidence that says the boys in blue need to come out swinging those bats tomorrow. I want to see it. I want to see them really getting after Johnny Cueto because he has struggled sometimes at the front end of starts in the postseason. Same could be said for Jeff Samardzija. So getting those bats going is going to be key.
Hey, let's talk about a Giants team that comes in having won the last 3 World Series in even number years. Now we're here in 2016. Some people seem to think it's fait accompli that the Giants are going to win again because that's just what they do. How do you slow them down? Jump them quick?
I don't think you need to slow them down because I think they're slow enough as is. I think what we saw in the wild card game, and I think a lot of that's come out of that, is we saw, again, a Madison Bumgarner moment. We didn't see their bullpen exposed, which was exposed in August and September. You cannot dismiss the fact that this team struggled down the stretch, that they've got a lot of issues scoring runs at times, and they've got some bullpen issues to go along with it. If their rotation settles in and does what everybody thinks that maybe they can do, they got a shot at winning this series. But that's a lot of ifs. When I look at this Cubs team, if they play Cubs baseball, which we've witnessed all season long, this Giants team does not have a chance to beat them. They need to have low-scoring games in which they score late. But still, I believe that that's an advantage for the Cubs because their bullpen is better.
All right, we'll see what happens. Cubs and Giants. Don't forget, Holly and I will have pregame for you on Friday night and Saturday night. Post-game will be over at the Cubby Bear. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a festive atmosphere in Wrigley. We'll see if the Cubs can take out the Giants. For Todd Hollandsworth, I'm David Kaplan. Let's go back to you guys.
All right, still head on SportsNet Central. The unlikeliest of heroes, Connor Gillespie, sent the Giants into the NLDS with that 3-run homer in the 9th last night against the Mets. While the Giants feel they've got nothing to lose in this series. That story coming up.
Time now for our Law injury report. Jay Cutler remains sidelined and unable to practice due to his injured thumb. Brian Hoyer appears to be in line to make his 3rd straight start. Hoyer has thrown for over 300 yards in each of his previous 2 starts, and the Colts defense is ranked 25th in the NFL in passing defense. The Colts are much better against the run, allowing over 100 yards per game on the ground, and that could be good news for Bears rookie running back Jordan Howard. The 5th-round pick is coming off a breakout game against the Lions where he ran for 111 yards on 23 carries, 4.8 yards per carry. And one of the guys blocking for him, Kyle Long, sees a predatory mentality from the young running back.
I've never really been around a shark before, but I've heard that they don't show a lot of emotion, and they just kind of swim and eat things. And Jordan kind of has that temperament. You never really see him too high or too low. And that's why I say he's kind of wise beyond his years, because he's kind of figured out the even keel personality thing. He's very neutral all the time, but one thing you see when he gets the ball in his hands, he just runs his butt off.
I guess I've never seen a shark smile, so that makes sense. The Bears also sending some good vibes to the Cubs, posting some throwback photos of the Bears playing football at Wrigley Field on their official website. A little throwback Thursday for you. We'll have another big-time throwback for you coming up later in SportsNet Central. Here's a hint, this guy also once played at Wrigley Field.
Couple of times. He also played for this team, the Bulls, taking on the Pacers in preseason action tonight on CSN. The Bulls are down as many as 9 early on, but Rajon Rondo led them back. He's wearing the headband. Normally, Jerry Reinsdorf doesn't allow it, but I think it's been given the okay for Rondo to wear the headband with the Bulls. He had 10 points in the first quarter. All sorts of problems defensively for the Pacers trying to guard him. Nikola Mirotic got the start at the 4, but he had another rough night. Second quarter, he gets the rebound, but throws a bad pass. And then, oh, are you kidding me? Glenn Robinson gets a 3-point play on Mirotic. Then in transition, Nico shoots a deep 3. No good. His struggles continue. He's now 2 for 14 from the field in the preseason. Second quarter, new Bull. Dwayne Wade on the break to Bobby Portis. Wade had 10 points, 3 assists in 22 minutes. 3 4.9 seconds left in the half. Rondo banks it in at the buzzer. 14 points, 4 assists, 3 boards for Rondo at the half. To the fourth, Bulls down 4. Spencer Dinwiddie had a big game, high off the glass, get a team-high 19. But the Bulls come up short, 115-108. They fall to 0-2 on the preseason.
Coming up next on SportsNet Central, White Sox cast off turned wild card game hero Connor Gillespie sent the Giants into the NLDS. Skipper Bruce Bochy explains why all the pressure is on the Cubs. Plus, no shortage of bad blood between the Rangers and Blue Jays heading into the ALDS. But it's Texas and ace Cole Hamels that take it on the chin in Game 1. And we look back at a retirement that shocked the sports world. Michael Jordan calling it quits on the eve of training camp 23 years ago today.
SportsNet Central on Comcast SportsNet is presented to you by GMC. We are professional grade.
A well-put-together man is said to be sharp. At GMC, we get why people appreciate that kind of precision. After all, precision is the kind of sharp that slices through a crowd. This is the precision of professional grade. Step up to GMC and pay no interest for 72 months on all 2016 GMC Yukon and most 2016 Canyon models. Or get $8,000 below MSRP on select Yukon Denali vehicles in stock. GMC, we are professional grade.
Esurance does auto insurance a smarter way, like their photo claims tool. It helps settle your claim quickly, which saves time, which saves money. And when they save, you save. That's auto and home insurance for the modern world. Esurance, an Allstate company. Click or call. Esurance does insurance a smarter way, which saves money, like bundling home and auto coverage, which reduces red tape, which saves money. And when they save, you save. That's home and auto insurance for the modern world. Esurance, an Allstate company. Click or call.
The best things in life are free.
Choose excitement.
But you can get them to
Choose action. Choose Hollywood Casinos and you've already won. 2 Chicagoland locations with more of the games you want, more of the generous rewards you deserve, and celebrations that shine all night. That's the kind of star power that can take you places. Hollywood Casino, Aurora, and Joliet. There's no place like Hollywood.
Get the Bob Roman Indy. Oh, now, to pay the rent. Get the Bob Roman Mitchellville.
Ooh.
I scared him. How was that?
I like that.
Bob Roman.
Do you have too many bills but not enough money? Would you like one lower payment for all debt, little or no money down? I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Our Chapter 13 plans stop collections and creditors in one day for as low as $95 every 2 weeks. Get rid of bill collectors and high car payments. Get one lower payment today. Call or click now.
When you need to be debt-free, call 1-800-CALL-PFG. That's 1-800-CALL-PFG.
Back on SportsNet Central with more on our top story. Giants Game 1 starter Johnny Cueto faced the Cubs once this season. He allowed 1 run on 5 hits with 5 Ks in 7 innings. The Cubs ended up winning the game by 1 run. As Luke Stuckmeyer explains from Wrigley Field, that could be a common occurrence in this series.
Bruce Bochy says he expects this NLDS to be a lot like the early September series here at Wrigley Field. Each game was decided by a single run. In fact, 5 of the 7 games between the Giants and Cubs this year were one-run affairs. San Francisco struggled after the All-Star break, but let's face it, none of that matters anymore.
The great thing about the game right now is, you know, it's all new now, and, you know, you start from zero. We both have the same records, so it doesn't matter how you get here. But even with that said, the fact that we are here and at this point, I think you can look at it as you are playing with house money a little bit. I think it may take a little pressure off, but, you know, and I don't think these guys need to take that off. I think they play better with it. I think we showed that the last 2 series home when we had to fight to get here. But, it's a good feeling to be here despite all the struggles that we had the second half.
Bochy says after the All-Star break, his entire offense went into a slump at exactly the same time. But in the last 6 or 7 games, he's seen major improvements. It's up to John Lester to make them feel uncomfortable again on Friday night. At Wrigley Field, Luke Stuckmeyer, Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, Luke, we've got you covered before and after every Cubs playoff game with Cubs Postseason Live. We'll set the stage for the opener with an hour-long show tomorrow starting at 7 p.m. leading up to first pitch. And as soon as the game is, the final out is made, Cap and Holly will be back with all locker room reaction. I got distracted because look at Cap. He's just like pounding the table there for a victory. Business. Only here on CSN.
Bautista got all he could handle with that. Odor's now 2 for 5 today. Wow. That's some pretty solid contact right there.
Bad blood from last year's ALDS spilled over into the 2016 regular season, and now comes round 2. Blue Jays Rangers in the ALDS for the second straight postseason. Rangers sending Cole Hamels to the mound for game 1, and the Jays jumped all over him, already 1-0. Bautista at the plate with a couple guys on. He singles up the middle. Run comes home, and it's 2-0 Toronto. 2 batters later, the bases are loaded for Troy Tulowitzki. And he's going to go ahead and clear him. Drives one into the right center field gap. All 3 runners come on in to score. Blue Jays with a 5-0 lead in only the 3rd inning. Hamels still in there at the 4th. Melvin Upton Jr. at the dish. And he's going to give this one a ride deep to left. It's gone. His 8th career postseason homer makes it 6-0. The Blue Jays steamroll the Rangers, and they easily take game 1. 10-1 the final. On this date, 23 years ago, the man who wore that jersey number for a living shocked the world. After winning a 3rd straight NBA title with the Bulls, Michael Jordan abruptly retired from the game of basketball right before training camp was about to begin.
From the suite next to mine into mine, and I was afraid he was going to fall down and kill himself.
Jerry Reinsdorf said that he would not confirm the story. I said, by not confirming it, Jerry, does that not lend credence? Jerry went on to say, well, maybe it does, but we won't have anything official to say until tomorrow morning.
And then people were banging on the door trying to get in. So we got security and we got Michael out of there.
Back in Comiskey Park, and at the end of the 7th inning, Michael Jordan making his exit from the ballpark.
The next day when we had the formal announcement at Berto, I mean, the place was jammed. Everybody was there.
We interrupt our regularly scheduled program for the Sports Channel special report.
Most are in a state of shock right now because the potential announcement is that Michael Jordan, the world's greatest athlete, it's simple to say, and the best player ever to play the game of basketball, is about to announce his retirement from the Chicago Bulls.
Man, I just can't believe it.
When I lose the sense of motivation and the sense of to prove something as a basketball player, it's time for me to move away from the game of basketball.
A lot of things were going on around that time about Michael, from the gambling to other things, so you really didn't believe a lot of what you heard. It became real for us, and it was pretty shocking.
Is there any doubt in your mind that he will be back someday?
I wish I could say yes, but I don't think he's ever coming back.
Michael and I had not a bet, but a little, he said, you'll cry today. I haven't cried yet. Cried a little bit yesterday. He and I had a little bit of an emotional session yesterday. But yeah, my emotions, I cry anyway.
The tipping point in Michael deciding to retire was the murder of his father, James, 2 months earlier. His dad always wanted Michael to play baseball. And that February, Jordan shocked the sports world again by signing a minor league contract with the White Sox.
I guess the biggest positive thing that I can take out of my father not being here with me today is that he saw my last basketball game, and that means a lot.
he was going to play baseball that summer. I don't think it ever got out, but somewhere right after the end of the basketball season in '93, his father had not been killed yet, and that changed everything. The death of his father just, I think, it was the last gasp.
If you ride a roller coaster for 9 years, don't you want to ride something else? And that's where I feel right now. I've been on this roller coaster for 9 years. It's just time for me to ride something else.
Nice throwback Thursday, Chuck. Coming up next, Patrick Kane explains why this Cubs team reminds him a whole lot of the 2009-2010 Blackhawks team that won Stanley Cup.
Go inside the lives of Chicago's biggest sports stars, only on Inside Look, presented by Cadillac. Your questions answered.
In this business, you want to compete for championships.
Idols revisited.
They've supported this organization for so many years.
And the stories behind the headlines revealed.
It's a special journey, and it's a great story.
Catch a new interview every month with Inside Look on Comcast SportsNet. Visit csnchicago.com for listings.
Vonage is here to help you connect. Always.
Hey, Mom.
Connect in more ways. Connect in new ways with a home phone that links to your smartphone.
Hey, Danny. Dad?
Vonage has created a new kind of home phone service so you can connect more and pay less. Talk all you want across the U.S., Canada, and Mexico on both your home and mobile phones for just $9.99 a month. That's 60% off for a full year. Plus, call home over Wi-Fi from anywhere in the world for free. Block unwanted callers forever with just a swipe. And when you can't pick up, you won't miss out. Thanks to Vonage Visual Voicemail. Get our best rate ever. 60% off for a full year. And talk all you want for just $9.99 a month. And for a limited time, you'll also get our whole house kit, a Vonage adapter, and 3 phones. Connect more. Connect better. Connect now with Vonage.
Call 800-595-7953 or go to buyvonage.com.
Some things are simply impossible to ignore. The strikingly designed Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid, the SUV that dares to go beyond utility. This is the pursuit of perfection.
Tomorrow on CSN, the postseason is here, and your Cubs are ready for the challenge. Before Game 1, join Cap and Holly for an hour-long edition